Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1 says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens." Shalom, shalom, Akim. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Harakah Kwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutes to all the 144,000 elect men. Coming back at you with another lesson, Akim, with the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua. So, a time for everything. The whole of chapters, or Ecclesiastes chapters 3, the whole of it is a whole heap of meeting here. Talking about the time for everything and all the different seasons, all the different activities you may know and may like to take part in. And you can take part in them as long as you have your priorities right. But now we're in a time of, let's go straight to it. In 8 says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Right, man. Now, is it around that time? Land back in one of the elders apostles. Is this the beginning of World War III? Is this the beginning of World War III? Let's take a look at the video. One step closer. That's the video. Breaking news: U.S. sends 2,000 Marines to Israel. One step closer to World War III. From Elders in Transit 3, Elder Apostles video. So we're just picking out certain bullet points, just land back in. Man, Biden sends, 2,000 US Marines to Israel. As we just looked at there, US Marines and soldiers being sent to Israel coast report. We're one step closer to World War III. Now I want to take a look at the words. What is this? What is this word we just looked at in Sirach 3? Not like we don't know, but we want to just go in and see where the Spirit takes us, man. Certain verses that stick out at this moment in time. A state, now war, the meaning, a state of armed conflict between different countries or different groups within a country. Conflict, warfare, combat, fighting, struggle, armed conflict. Fight, battle. Fight, battle. I just tapped on that. Lengthy and difficult conflict or struggle. And I remember there's an old song by the Wailing Souls. War in the east, war in the west. Old rumors of war. The Wailing Souls. That's one of them old Trojan songs going way back. And war is very ugly. And war is ugly. War is very ugly. One of them old what do you call it, a dance song or house music. War is very ugly. And the Vietnam War, they came with one. The Vietnam 19. That was an old school song as well by, was it Herbert somebody. 19, the Vietnam War. It was like a dance house stroke house disco kind of house garage kind of song. War is very ugly. And 19, going into the Vietnam War. So it is ugly, but now that's what we're just looking at. It's ugly because we're seeing what's happening, man. And I ain't going to get into the politics of it. And I'm going to choose my word because, they, for some reason, they really like to, you know what it is, you know what time it is. So, war. Yeah, one step closer to war. The etymology now. Etymology. War. Conflict, military conflict. From the old North French war. Difficult dispute, hostility, fight, combat. Let's see what Latin. Also of Old Saxon. Confused, mix up. That's what they call it in the Benjamin call it. You know, and get up, no mix up. And the Judites as well. You're gonna mix up. You know, get up, no mix up. Suggest that the original sense was to bring unto confusion. Yeah, we know who funds these wars. They fund both sides. The elite fund both sides to bring what? Confusion. So that they can profit. And there's a whole heap of money invested, and there's a whole heap of money gained through conflict, we know. So large-scale military conflicts. French wahi, from the French wahi. Enough said on that. Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian Goria also are from Germanic, Romanic people turn to Germanic for war. That's enough for one like that. To make war on mid, worried, warring. War games. For those of you into the games, all them virtual reality games, it's mainly it's all about war, conflict, and how to delete the opposition and how to survive. Same in boxing. How to delete or hit and not get hit. That's the idea. So we looked at war meaning, war etymology, just to get the opposition. More of an understanding. It's good to look at the opposite as well. Peace, freedom from disturbance, tranquility. Tranquility, calmness, restfulness, peace and quiet. Scriptures come to mind. Isaiah, is it 9 and 6 or 6 and 9? I mean, that's the one that comes to mind. Isaiah 9 and 6, yeah. We're going to look at some of them precepts there. Law and order, lawfulness, order, restful, peacefulness, peace and quiet. Give me peace and quiet, man. Shut up, So etymology now. Just bringing a little bit of a balance in. Right, but is this the beginning of World War III? So I'm going to land back off of one of the elders and apostles, that video, but just getting into some of the meaning and the etymology, man. People like to be in denial. People don't know that war is very ugly, but even the Most High God is a God of war. So obviously, if he's a God of war, he's very necessary. Freedom from civil disorders, internal peace of nations, recollection, silence, permission. And peace is in order for you to get war, or in order for you to get peace. And it's a well-known saying. They believe in war. We know that these people believe in war big time. That's why they fund them, the elites of this wicked system. To replace Old English, which also meant happiness. Yeah, peace means happiness. The modern spelling is from reflecting vowel sift from mid 30C, friendly relations between people. Sense of spiritual peace of heart. sole consequence, freedom from disturbance by the passions. That's all I want out of that, man. Let's get back. Let's read a little bit more from the top, because there's a time for everything. Yeah, everything. There is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. These are all the life's experiences that as you go through life, you experience them. Time to be born and a time to die. You know, this is earthly. This is the earthly time of life. If you like, this is the earthly activities of life. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance. The earthly life experiences. A time to cast away stones. And we've done all of these things. Going through our life, we've experienced these things. We see them day in and day out. A time to gather stones, gather stones together. A time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away. It's really speaking for itself. A time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silent, a time to speak. These are some wisdoms as well. Some words of wisdom is all up in there too. And all of that. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. There's a whole heap of meaty, but I'm going to focus on this. So much. There's a lot in there. When you look at certain chapters in the Bible, man, you see it gives you a picture. It gives you a picture. Pictures come to mind, and a picture paints 1,000 words. Look at this one here. Time to hate and a time of war and a time of peace. And there's others I could have just got into, but is this the beginning of World War III? I'm going to might be saying that throughout this video, because that's going to be somewhat the title that I'm going to have. I'm going to use somewhat or something to that effect. Let's get in on this. Some of the word here. Let's get straight to it. War. H4421. I'm just going to hear it out of curiosity.
Strong's H4421. Milchama.
Battle war. Yeah, in one of my previous videos, the foundation to this truth, the motivation, fear, as the elders, they say this a lot. The elders and apostles say fear is a motivator. Fear is a motivator. And yeah, it is a motivator. And when you understand that what kind of God we serve, you would fear him. You only have but one way to go, and that is to fear him, because he's a warrior. He's a God of war. I know I'm just focusing on this for the time being. This word here, because it's in the air, man. And there's protest over in New York City. You got the Times Square. There's been protests over in a lot of European countries too, over in the UK. And they say if you wave one of those flags, you know, the Palestinian flag, or you're for those such people, if you're for them, and I'm going to choose my words, if you're for them, you can be arrested. If you're against you know who, smile at people them, you can be arrested. So they're putting it in the air anyway. They're putting it in the air. But so it's in the air. Ultimately, the Most High, the God of war, is putting it in the air, the spirit of war. So there's protests around the place. And I've seen some things, and you've seen some things, and there's a change of spirit. It was already wicked, and you can cut it with a knife, but even now it's increased. It's heightened. That T spirit is in the air. Right. Warriors fighting with War with battle war. Sense of fight in a battle, engagement, generally warfare. That's all I want out of that. Some of the preceding precepts here. And if I will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. Yeah, Israel, we were, back in the day, we were conquerors, man. When we was in our right, in our service, in our fear, that word again, it's going to keep coming up. That when we feared the Lord, and we did his work, and we stayed within the boundaries, Balak and Balaam, they couldn't put a curse on us because we was in the boundaries, we was under the protection within the boundaries of the Lord, keeping his law, statutes and commandments, and not putting our hand to sin. We were winning all the victories. We had all the victories in combat, in war. Yeah, we had all the victories. The Most High gave us all the necks of the enemies when we were keeping the law, statutes and commandments, when we didn't step out of line. Yeah, see here now? Exodus 1:10 says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. That was one of the fears of that Pharaoh, that infamous Pharaoh. They was always in fear of us. So we grew mighty, and they're in fear now. They're in fear now. They're coming in sideways to try and find ways, as they've always been doing. To get rid of us. Those curses, Deuteronomy 28, and that Margaret Sanger, what she did in the 60s, with our babies. And you can go back to the alligator bait too, with our babies. They was always trying to do that. So dealing wisely with us, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and dealing wisely, and come to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up at. That was one of the biggest fear. You got these, all these what they do with the babies. Margaret Sanger. When I say that, I'm getting at. So that was one of their principal things, and they tried to do that back then, the time of in Egypt. That Margaret Sanger. It's not a conspiracy. It was attempted, and they've never stopped since. So that's what it led me to, Akim. I looked at the word there, war, and it led me to those precepts there, Exodus 1 and 10. Things that we're aware of anyway, but the Most High is about repetition for emphasis, and that's what we're dealing with right now. Is this the beginning of World War III? Now, peace, and I always like to deal with balancing when I deal with certain words, and I try to deal with balance, bring up the balancing thing. Completeness, soundness, warfare. Right. Completeness, soundness, warfare, peace, completeness in number, safety, soundness. Right, man. The title of the video, I'm gonna have to go back to it. One step closer. This is the Elder Apostle. Right, you can check out his videos. There's a lot of edifying videos. Goes into all different type of subjects. Elders in transit free. Getting into the map, looking into the maps, the history, definitely the prophecy, the charagma, the MOTB. On an all-round basis, you're going to get edification. So one step closer. This is the video that I'm lambacking on now. to World War III. And looking into it a little bit, getting the idea. So we're not in no we're not in no we're not gonna be shocked. We're not shook, and we're not shocked. What is coming down the pipe and the times we're in now, as we're looking at Sirach chapters 3. There's a time for everything under the sun. Safety, soundness, and there's also a time for what? Peace. But if you want peace, sometimes you have to go through the minefields. People do travel through minefields, and boy, like I say, it is very ugly. Some don't get through. You understand? He that endures to the end is the one that will be saved. War is very ugly. Warfare. Yeah. The Wailing Souls, man. I'm, as a matter of fact, I might even do a video and just going into some of those old school songs and looking at how the prophecies, because them days it was the music was really as you know, popular among Benjamin, very popular among Benjamin, the so-called he shall wail as a wolf, the Wailers, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Wailing means to cry, wail, cry, lamentations, lament. And Bob Marley and the Wailers were Benjamites. Bob Marley was a Benjamite. I ain't got no doubt about that in my mind. And the Wailers were all Benjamites. And they were wailing, singing and crying and talking about things in life and prophecy and history. That was the truth back then. That was what it was. That is the closest you got to the truth. Listening to some so-called conscious music, singing about reality. Wow, the Wailing Souls. Check out the name of it. Wailing Souls. You know what I mean? And there's other Bob Marley and the Wailers. There's another one too, with that wording. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Wailing Soul. There's others. Not gonna come, but like I say, if I do a video on it, if the Spirit's on me to get into that kind of, go down that road in prophecy, old school conscious music, to go down that road, I'll do so. So peace, friendship, yeah, man. Peace from war. Peace. Enough said, man. Enough said. Now I want to go. I'm gonna check out some of these other words here. Anymore. That's all I want. Without war, you cannot have peace. But war is ugly. War is very ugly. I want to see some of these other words here. I don't have to make this a long video. Time to, what do I want? Time to hate. It's very simple. A time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, a time for peace. It all says the same. All says more or less the same. Now, when you tap in, war occurs 225 times in 220 verses. It's all throughout the scriptures. And I know I'm gonna. If I don't have to look too far to find this one, you just know that Exodus 15:3 says, "The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is His name." You know how to read that. So what is coming down the pipe, we are fully aware. This is the Most High's movie, and it is definitely getting more dramatic. That's all I want to bring out of that. Now tap in peace too now. Bring up the balance. It occurs, see, the peace outweighs war, see. Yeah, the both sides are God of balance. Is a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. 429 times in 400 verses in the KJV. Peace is very prominent also. Can you see? Zoom in a bit. Prominent throughout the scriptures. Genesis 15:15 says, "And thou shalt go to thy father in peace, thou shalt be buried in a good old age." Just randomly picking some of these. Let me just pick a next one out. Random. Next one, this one. Exodus 24:5 says, and he sent young men of children of Israel with offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. See? Without war, you ain't gonna get peace. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to the time. This is what we're looking forward to. That's why we know this is part of the movie, what's coming down the pipe. But what is going to be the result, the end result? Isaiah 9:6 says, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. Right, what is that government? It breaks it down, goes into it. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. If you look into Revelations 21, 22, starting with 21, he says he's going to wipe every tear from our eyes. The preceding verses. And the government going to come down from heaven. Spiritual government ruled on heaven. You know, by who here? The Prince of Peace. Yeah. For unto us a child is born, as a son given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. That's that heaven. That new heaven and new earth that comes down out of, in the spirit, that comes down to earth and reigns all over the globe. Because that's after the war. What we see now is this beginning of the World War III. What we're seeing now is this the beginning? Question mark. Prophecies have to come. This is the this would, you might say, we're waiting for the grand finale to take place, which is this. The government, the child that is born. We're waiting for the grand finale. Yahushua, there was knows what Christians call him, Jesus. He's going to come down and he's going to rule this place in peace. We won't go in. As a matter of fact, I want to see something. KJV, NKJV. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. In the NLT now. For a child is born unto us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Wonderful Counselor. Let's go and check something out then. Check something out. Just a couple more words and we're going to end the video off. Wonderful. Now, what is a counselor? What is this counselor we're talking about? To give advice, consult, give counsel, purpose, devise, plan. That new heaven and new earth that come out of heaven going to render peaceful counsel on the earth. There won't be no war. What's happening over there in certain there won't be none of that, man. Because, you know, so there won't be none of that. Right? Isaiah, I'm going to bring out this, stick to the scriptures. Isaiah chapters 2 speaks about what's going to happen. Right? When Yahshua Allah is doing what when the prophecies take place. Isaiah chapters 2, that's what's going to be happening. To advise counsel, to give counsel, consult, counselor. Right? Together, exchange counsel, deliberate. Yeah, and the council, 144,000 men is going to be, they're going to be what you call the think tanks. Yeah, that's the word. They're going to be the think tanks, and they're going to be deploying men and chieftains. We call them. You're going to have chieftains, or they call those people the slave masters, and there's the other word I'm trying to come to me. Chieftains, slave masters, and men over them, which gonna be the ultimate counselor. He's gonna pass down counsel. Oh, King David. So it's gonna be from the Most High, Yahweh, then Yahushua, then King David, then the 144,000, and then you got men under them. Gonna be consulting from the Most High, getting all the counsel from the Most High God. That's the order. That's gonna be the order, man. Bringing peace on the earth. And the chieftains, and you're gonna have the slave masters, and you're gonna have the slaves, the lowest of them. They're gonna be the lowest. And then then Obadiah 18, to sum it all up. And then definitely gonna be peace in the earth then. After the bonfire, Obadiah 18, definitely gonna be peace in the earth then. Enough said on that. Enough said. That's all I need to bring out on that. Any more? The government, the government. I can't resist it. Let me hear what they say.
Strong's H 4951. Misra.
Rule, dominion, government. That's that new heaven and new earth, ruled by Yahushua. Right? His name is Yahushua. Right? So that's who gonna bring that government. Enough said on that, man. Enough said. And that's the part we're looking forward to. But without this part, you ain't gonna get that part. It's a jigsaw. And they both have to be in their place. Prophecies have to unfold in the right order. The government. Yeah, he saves. Yahushua, he saves. We're looking for this salvation. Yahushua, he saves, he delivers. Right? Shall be on his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful. Oh, I can't resist these other ones. Looked at Counselor. Wonderful. Yeah, he's gonna save his people, man. Wonder, Marvel. Oh, is that where they got it from? That was the cartoon Marvel. Those superhero Marvel. Yeah, the real superheroes, 144,000. You're gonna be marveling at them, what they're gonna be doing. And the top one, Yahushua, under Yahweh, wonder, we're gonna be in wonderment all through the rulership. Oh man. Oh, I just had that premonition again of that the vision I had a little while back. I done a video on it. The premonition just hit me again. When I was in a new body, man. And I just have to say it. I was in a very quick one though. It was a glimpse of me being in a new body. I done the video, and I just felt like, imagine you're in pain, and you feel your pains, and you got your back pain, your joint pains, and then automatically, no pain, euphoric, and I ain't talking about the euphoria when some people they take them LSD and all them thing there. I ain't talking about that kind. This was off the chart. This is different, and all that other things, what Class A's and all them fentanyl and all that. What people try and get the synthetic euphoria. This weren't that. This was of the Lord, and I was floating on the building. I was moving, and I knew that I was in control of myself. No pain, euphoric body, new body, and I was just looking and admiring and saying, "Oh." Just giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem Shai, the word of Yahweh, the word of Yahweh, the word of Yahweh Shai, the word of Yahweh. So we're gonna be we're gonna be marveling in that kingdom with what we have, also with what we ourselves are gonna be given, that faith, and the things that go along with that faith. We're gonna be marveling, wonder extraordinary. Hard to understand. Oh, we're still going to be in Isaiah 55 and 11, man. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, man. How can we then understand? We're going to be marveling. Right now, there's confusion in the earth. That war, we looked at the word war. Another word for war is confusion. And that's what they like to stir up in this kingdom. Babel, confusion, but it's going to be the opposite to confusion. We're going to be understanding in the earth. But the marveling we're going to be doing is going to be, we're going to have to come to terms with it. Like I say, when I was in youth, that vision I had be with a new body, just a glimpse, the Most High gave me a glimpse of being in a new body and admiring it. I was in wonderment. I was marveling, even of my own body. Even being in my own body, I was marveling in it. So imagine the Most High. Imagine what the Most High, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and getting glimpses of those type of spiritual things taking place. We're going to be marveling. We're going to be in extraordinary wonderment of God's acts of judgments and redemptions. We're going to be words. The more I think about it, words. This doesn't even do it justice. There's no words. But this is about as close you're going to get to trying to explain it. Let me hear what he says.
Strong's H 6382. Pele.
Miracle, marvelous thing, wonder. This is about as close as you're going to get to try and explain what it's going to be like in the kingdom under the rule of Yahushua, the counselor, the wonderful counselor, the Prince of Peace. I think I'm going to leave it on that note. I'm going to leave it. Enough said. I don't need to say no more. But yeah, are we one step closer to Wa? Are we one step closer to Wa? Well, if we're one step closer to Wa, then we're closer to other prophecies. We're closer to the other prophecies. The digital currency, the CHIP, right? The MOTB, right? The Wa, that's all part of the prophecies in the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, and Luke's talks about that in red letters. And so therefore, if we're closer to those things, we're closer to the grand finale also. Isaiah 6 and 9. We're going to end with this one. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and his government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. That's all I wanted to bring out. So let the prophecies roll down like water, and let the prophecies unfold through the power and the Spirit of the Lord. Because the grand finale, we're one step closer to the grand finale. And that's what I'm going to title this video. No, I'm going to title it Getting Closer to the Grand Finale. Enough said. So on to the next. Shalom.